Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. And what I want to tell you today, actually I want to talk about two things. First, let's address what happened yesterday in Boise, Idaho, in the largest shopping mall in the state. And it's something that's happening more and more as the years have gone by for a few reasons. But I'm going to put forward what I think as someone who does this stuff for a living. And I'm referring to the mall shooting that took place yesterday that left 2 people dead and 5 people injured, including a police officer and what is believed to be the lone singular suspect who is in custody. Details will come out once the investigation is finished. However, what I want to remind you is that this is happening more and more for a couple reasons. Yeah, we have a couple of generations that can't deal with feelings. There's a big bunch of people who feel they need to flex with a firearm. There's a bunch of different factors, but what I will say is the biggest factor that is overlooked is the ability for you to keep yourself safe. And what do I mean? Carry a handgun to keep yourself safe. This is your right. Now, you don't all have to partake in this right if you don't want to, but you also don't have the right to stop somebody else from utilizing that right. And let's make today's sponsor the USCCA. Because they will get you prepared for what would happen before, during, and after an act of legal self-defense. If you're in a mall, a store, out in public, you are going to be your best chance for survival. You can keep yourself safe, your family safe, and others. That's why I say on every video, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun. And the USCCA will help you for that aftermath. That's what I use for my family. You don't have to use it. There are other options out there. I have decided that's best for me, and I'll have a link down below, uscca.com/GNG, where you can look into it for your family. But what I want you to know is that you should be carrying this if you're able to. If you have made that decision to, never leave home without it, because you never know when evil is going to be face to face with you, and you're going to be able to take care of that evil, if justified, before a police officer can respond to the scene. Now, why am I saying this? Because there have been a couple of shootings in the last couple days, and you're starting to see the narrative shift. It started on the set of Alec Baldwin's video or movie, Rust. There are a bunch of liberals now that are pushing gun control again. You have the House of Representatives that tomorrow are taking up a national red flag bill to vote coming out of committee. And then now you have a movement of people saying we need to control guns again after this shooting in Boise, Idaho. And there's a reason why that this three-headed monster is in front of us right now. And that's because in a week, the United States Supreme Court is taking up a major landmark case when it comes to the Second Amendment, potentially a landmark case. And that is the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. This has everything to do with how those states that are not shall issue, that are may issue, how they restrict the Second Amendment of the people who live there legally, right? In this case, a lot of people are preparing, including anti-gun folks, a lot of people are preparing for this case to be a landmark case in favor of the Second Amendment. We'll have to see, but that's the reason I believe that things are happening before this case, because it typically always, now call me crazy if you want, but something like this, shootings, always happen before a major case or a major bill in order to push more pressure on those people making those decisions. Everybody remember the Shush Act was going to legalize silencers and suppressors. We had the votes by a long shot, but then the day before or the night before that was going to be voted on, there was a Republican baseball game shooting. So if you follow history, you'll know that something seems to always happen before a major pro-gun decision case bill. I'll also have a link below from Gun Owners of America to make it easy for you to get a hold of your representatives to tell them not to support H.R. 2377. Oppose that bill. That's the National Red Flag, or the National Extreme Risk Protection Order Act of 2021. They should not, shall not support that. I also want to talk real quick about Ohio. A lot of this anti-gun narrative. Let's put something out there that's positive. Ohio, the legislature has taken up a bill. It's HB 99, and it's looking to fix the issue of armed school staff. And Ohio had a couple dozen school districts that had armed school staff in order to help keep the kids safe. Again, who is the best responder, the first responder? The people who are where it happens. I'm going to go on record. I am a proponent for arming teachers, school staff. If they want to be armed, don't force it on people. And as long as they do some minimal amount of training where they can shoot what they're aiming at and know if it's obviously justified. If you have a school shooter, it's game time. But yes, they can. Every school shooting would have been stopped much faster if there were armed school staff willing to stop evil rather than wait on SWAT teams and all that stuff to assemble and arrive and whatever. So this bill looks to fix that. Now, I told you that there were armed staff, and that changed when the Supreme Court made a decision that in order to be an armed school staff or teacher, you had to have the same training that police, 700 plus hours of a police academy. That decision's bullshit, because why should a teacher go through 700 plus hours of a police academy when it has nothing, like, they're not going to be doing accident recon. They're not, okay? They're not going to be doing a lot of stuff that police are trained to do in a police academy. What they should focus on is the amount of firearms training a cop gets. I'll tell you, because I've taught at academies for decades. They get 40 hours of training. 40 hours is firearms week, 1 week. It's been stretched in some states to 2 now because you have multiple platforms, pistol, shotgun, rifle. But pistol, it's 40 hours. And some places have the use of force training and use of deadly force wrapped up into that in the classroom, and others maybe add a day or 2. But that's what police training is. So to ask somebody, I sounded like Canadian right there, to ask somebody to do this much training when the people who are out there responding to this stuff have this much doesn't make sense. Now, the typical people, the typical groups who are against anybody taking care of themselves with their own protection are squawking on this bill too. The teachers' unions and the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police, that's the police union. I don't know why police are against people protecting themselves. But hey, you know what? Shame on you. You suck. You have it wrong. Do your job. Look at your oath. Read the Constitution. Enough said. Now, this new bill, HB 99, it looks to address those issues where the Supreme Court said you need to take care of this stuff. So it does have minimum requirements. You have to have your concealed carry license, which means you have to not be a prohibited person. You also have to have a minimum amount of training, and they go through that minimum amount of training, and I'm going to look at the bill here to my left to get the training right. It includes 18 hours of general training needed to be armed in the school, 2 hours of handgun training that will include proper loading and holstering procedures, specific shooting techniques, and the unloading and clearing procedures of the firearm. There's also an annual, like an in-service type training to requalify. And I hope you appreciate the news. Don't forget, there's a reason that things are happening right now, and there's pressure being put on gun control again from all levels, state, local, and federal. It's because of this big case, the New York State Rifle Pistol Association versus Bruin. This is going to be a big one, guys and gals, and the oral arguments start November 3rd. If you want to stay in the know, including this case, you're going to want to subscribe to Guns and Gadgets. Hit that button right down below. Join this growing freedom family. Hit that bell icon and toggle the selection to all notifications. Like the video if you got something out of it, and share it so that other people will be aware too, because that algorithm is a sumbitch and it doesn't like the truth to get out, especially around firearms. So thank you for your time. Till we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry one of these to keep yourself safe as well as the people around you when it's time to keep people safe. And then check out the USCCA for what's going to happen after, uscca.com/GNG. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.